How's it going, guys? We're back for another SBT match. This is in the A-League where we have Huntah versus Swampy. Not alone, I'm joined here with Gene.
Hey, guys.
And we can go over the mons that they brought here. Looks like Swampy brought his Mega Glade, Celesteela, Seismitoad, Mimikyu, the Delphox, and his Rotom Wash. And Huntah brought Sylveon, the Scolipede, Hippowdon, Rotom Heat, Mega Latios, and his Porygon too. So, who do you think has a better matchup here, Gene? It seems interesting because
I like Swampy's roster,
his
especially
roster
that
is
Mimikyu.
definitely.
If he preserves it well, Mimikyu can win into the mirror.
And he also has Mega Glade, which is pretty hard to switch into, especially since one of Huntah's walls is the Porygon, and obviously that's not the best switching. So it looks like they immediately just lead off with the Delphox and the Mega Latios. I'm not too sure if this Delphox wants to. I'm not too sure what he wants to do here, unless he has like Shadow Ball or something. Maybe he's Scarf, but
probably Scarf Shadow Ball could probably be a thing here.
he could, or he could go for like a Toxic, maybe. So he actually goes for a Calm Mind. So interesting play there. Immediately just starting to set up as Huntah just brings in his most likely his physical or mixed wall.
Well, it's a download with physical attack. So
it looks like, yeah, because of Delphox's stats, I guess he got the attack boost. But we see a Toxic coming off P2. I guess he was pretty free to just spam it.
Other than Rotom Heat, Huntah has a hard time going through the Celesteela.
Well, again, like Porygon pretty much can freely just sit in here on Celesteela. Like, what does Celesteela really want to do besides Toxic or Leech Seed? While
with the Discharge, Wakan Berry already gone.
Yeah, the Wakan Berry's gone, so Huntah's just free to maybe just get a Paralysis on Steela. I don't know if the Rotom wants to come in or maybe the Seismitoad, but we already saw the Toxic on Porygon, so I think Swampy might have to do a bit of predicting while Huntah's just free to sit in here. He is taking damage to the Leech Seed, but he can just recover.
I must say that was kind of ballsy going for Discharge here. Never know if Celesteela has
the weakness policy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But still, without a Z move, like Celesteela is not going to be doing too much damage to Porygon if it's physically defensive or just a mixed wall. So
that's true.
Looks like Swampy does predict another Discharge or maybe something of that sort, and Huntah actually just wants to go on the offensive and bring in his Lottie. Not too sure if Lottie can actually touch something like the Glade or
Sub can be.
So we do see an Energy Ball, which surprisingly Seismitoad lives, and a questionable play on Swampy's part. He wants to just go for a Scald, maybe predicting Huntah to just swap out there, but maybe he was predicting.
Mega Lottie here is dangerous.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm not too sure what Swampy was predicting there, but coverage Mega Lottie is also very scary because he could have like Thunderbolt for the Celesteela, he could have Energy Ball for both Rotom and Seismitoad. But we've only seen Energy Ball, and it was interesting that he didn't set up rocks there for Swampy, because living that hit and not getting up rocks was probably just very dangerous, because now this Seismitoad is most likely death fodder.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
I could see Huntah just going for sub here.
He could just go for a sub. He could also just finish off his Seismitoad, or maybe just swap out, but I don't think he wants to give Swampy Stealth Rocks. We see a Dragon Pulse instead. Looks like this Lottie actually has more coverage move sets instead of a setup variant. Maybe he could still be a setup variant, but
that's early. But
in comes the Mimikyu. He has to break the disguise. It looks like, as Swampy just wants to set up. And this could be very scary because the Porygon can come in, but Hippo actually wants to come in and take a Z move. Yeah, that's going to do a clean 75%. And I'm pretty sure another Play Rough is going to knock out the Hippowdon at this range.
He goes for the Z. All right.
So unfortunately, Huntah had to take a big Z move there. Maybe he wasn't expecting that, but I think this Hippo either has to take the hit or just Huntah has to predict the Play Rough coming out. But he can go for a Shadow Claw if he has it, and Huntah doesn't really have the best switching, except if he predicts it and goes into Porygon. But yeah, Huntah has to Huntah is forced into a defensive role here as Swampy keeps coming in and setting up on him. And maybe that just means that Swampy is planning on winning in the late game with his Gallade, just keeping him around safely there. Because it doesn't look like Huntah's going to be able to get up rocks. And if I were Swampy, I wouldn't want rocks set up here right now.
Well, I think Huntah has to sack something here and just bring in Scolipede here.
For sure, Scolpide's the only thing that can maybe boost and try and take on this. Speed boost.
I don't think Shadow Sneak, unless barring a crit. I don't think it.
So he actually does show the Shadow Claw. So, even Scolipede.
I think Scolipede has to come in here. Yeah,
Scolipede might have to come in. Sand is still up, so the Mimikyu is taking a bit of chip. We're not too sure if that's going to matter, but the Sylveon could also be a very bulky set. But the thing is that this Mimikyu is already at +2, and we haven't seen a Life Orb. So without a Life Orb, Mimikyu's damage output isn't that great. Even at +2.
He's at +2. Yeah.
Even at +2, but it's still going to be doing a lot of damage to the point where Swampy can revenge him later. I don't think Huntah wants his Sylveon taking damage. Otherwise, the Gallade starts being very scary for Huntah.
Yep. Well, Huntah, I think his win con is obviously Mega Lottie here, so maybe going for Scolipede here is probably the best option.
Yeah, the Scolipede might have to be his way to save any other sort of damage on the rest of his team. Depending on his set, he's taking a while to decide this play, but maybe he's calcing to see how much Play Rough is going to do to Porygon. Porygon is at 88, and the Sand is up, so actually Rotom comes in, so it could be interesting.
Will do a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
Might be bold full HP, but
still
got to do quite a bit.
For sure. I guess he didn't want to. So we do see an overheat. So I think this Rotom is Scarf then.
That was a good play.
Yeah, not a bad play. So we could see a Shadow Claw here, and not a bad play on Huntah's part. He actually predicts the. He's able to save the health on a lot of his mons because of that play. And I do think that Rotom is Scarf, unless that Mimikyu was adamant, but I'm not too sure. So in comes Steela to take a discharge, maybe? Maybe he's fine taking this damage.
30 or 25, right? And
it really does nothing, but a paralysis.
That's rough.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he wanted to take a para on anything else on his team, but really the only thing that can take on this Porygon right now is the Gallade, I think. Unless maybe Rotom. So
depends what the set for Delphox is as well.
Yeah. Well, it is Calm Mind, so he can maybe try and so we did see Protect there, so he's Leech Seed Protect. We haven't seen that's doing a lot of damage. We haven't seen like Toxic or something. We haven't seen coverage from the Cell Steel at all either.
But that looks like a full special attack Scarf Rotom beat.
Yeah, that's definitely a Scarf Rotom, and the Leech Seed miss. That's gonna be big. Again, unfortunately, Swampy's getting
not going well for Swampy.
Yeah, Swampy's getting hit with these paralysis, unfortunately. And then down goes the Cell Steel. I'm not too sure how much Stilla would have done with Rotom and Porygon still being around there. And again, Lottie could have had coverage for it. But now that Steel is gone, it opens up the door for Sylveon, and nothing really wants to take it on except maybe the Delphox. The Delphox can kind of still take on the Sylveon.
Yeah.
But it's going to be pressure.
Maybe Gallade has a Poison Jab, I don't know.
Gallade could have the Poison Jab, yeah. But unless it's boosted, I'm not too sure it's going to be doing too much to maybe a physically defensive Sylveon. So I think Swampy might want to be looking for an opening to get Gallade in. And this
Well,
could be
Swampy still has the resources to come back, but
I was about to
he's
say
back
looks like Gallade. This might have to be his opening to bring in Gallade because of how specially defensive Gallade is. I don't think a Dragon Pulse is really going to be doing too much here to the
I'd say
Gallade.
about 30 to 40, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so he could use the opportunity to set up a Swords Dance.
From the Latias, we'll maybe see a Toxic or something like that.
I have a feeling Sylveon actually just wants to come in, but it doesn't look like that's the case, and it actually does a decent amount of damage. We see the bulk up instead. So I'm not too sure if that was a speed tie. I think it was though, right?
Yeah.
And he wins both ties.
Unless he's adamant or something like that.
Yeah,
but
he could be adamant. We could see the Shadow Sneak as well.
yeah, this is
So yeah, unless he is adamant, Huntah actually won all 3 speed ties, and without the Gallade, I don't think Swampy beats the Porygon anymore.
unless Delphox gets the setup here.
Unless Delphox can set up.
But even then, Scolipede comes in and can protect and
Exactly.
just go for Earthquake or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. And we haven't seen a Z move yet, have we? So maybe the Scolipede could be Z move.
Yeah, from Swampy we saw maybe Kim, but we did not see a Z move from Huntah yet. No.
So the Scolipede could easily be like a Z ground. We did see a Fire Blast, which is doing a lot of damage.
Toxic.
So, I was gonna say the
That was
Porygon.
good safe play from Huntah.
Yeah, for sure. Going for a Toxic so that he can kind of just soak up any hit. At this point, Sylveon isn't the most necessary, but getting the burn there was very fortunate for Swampy. And he just lets the Sylveon drop. He could have easily have made the play into the Rotom, but I'm guessing, with Rotom being Scarf, maybe he wants to bring it in here and just maybe Volt Switch out into
Probably Thunderbolt or something, maybe.
Well, he is he is boosted, so he does have to sack something here, just to let Toxic wear.
I don't know. Rotom Wash looks better and better right now, actually.
Rotom is looking very nice. I think Huntah has to sack his Porygon right here.
Granted, Big Latias does have the Energy Ball, but
Oh, not a bad play. Swampy had the Iapop Berry to increase his health some more, but of course, Huntah making the right predictions and bringing in.
No, Rotom Wash looks.
Rotom Wash is starting.
Rotom Wash could win the game, actually.
Well, Delphox has to drop right here.
Well, something takes a hit here.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Huntah has to sack his Porygon, as he was going to anyways. But now Delphox drops, and both Rotoms I think have to come in. Or just the Lottie. Because Lottie.
So we see Energy Ball here for sure, but
wow.
Faster.
So he's Scarf as well.
Scarf Hydro Pump, alright.
Alright, so in comes the Scully. This is gonna be close, actually.
See Protect here for sure, or not.
Well, no Protect. We see the Endeavor actually, and we do see the Speed Boost. So that's gonna be the game because we're gonna see a Poison Jab or a Mega Horn, and that's gonna end the match there.
I wanted to see the speed tie between the Rotom Wash.
Between the Rotoms, yeah, definitely both Scarf Rotoms actually could have maybe done some work. But I think Swampy, had he brought in his Scarf Rotom early on in the match, I think it could have done some work. But anyways, Huntah and Swampy both played that match pretty correctly. Huntah making a lot of nice predictions, and it definitely made the difference. So it's gonna be the game, guys. Huntah ends up with a 2-0, and GG to both players. And that's it for us, guys.